Hello to everyone. On today's video, we will be doing a sledgehammer resurrection. This is being called a resurrection and not a restoration for a few reasons. One reason is that the shape of the hammer will not be the same because it's already deformed from all the usage in the past. Another reason is that in order for it to be considered a restoration, the sledgehammer would need to be brought back to its original condition, which means all the dings and scuffs on it will need to be removed. No problem removing them, but the issue with this is that when you remove most of those dings and scuffs, you would be changing the weight of the sledgehammer because of the material you are shaving off to remove those imperfections. Those are the reasons I do not like to call it a restoration. Before beginning with the sledgehammer, I needed to remove the handle, which was being held just by a few nails. They gave me a little bit of battle at first, but I was able to pull them out. Once the nails were removed, the handle came out fairly easy. It even ended up splitting in half. Moving on to the project, first we begin by removing most of the rust using a grinder and a sandpaper. As mentioned, this hammer has some scratches that are really deep and hard to take out. I would have to grind off a lot of the metal in order to really get them out. The purpose of this sledgehammer is to be used and not to be mounted on a wall as a trophy, so I'm not really going to worry too much about them. Once I'm done removing some of the dings and scratches, I will be moving forward to painting the hammer with a blue tone color that is intended for metal objects. As you can see on this part of the video, most of the rust has been removed with a grinder. We are now moving forward to use a filer to remove some of the imperfections. After using the grinder, I did end up going in too deep on a few areas. So with the filer, I'm trying to level out some of it. I make sure to go over all around the hammer to make sure all sides are as even as possible. Once I'm done using the file, I then proceed to use some sanding paper to try to smooth out pretty much any side of the hammer that needs the smoothing. We will not be polishing the hammer since it will be painted. We use some WD-40 and a brush to get into those hard to reach areas such as the deep scuffs and the letters that are engraved into the hammer. It is actually nice to see that the color on the letters was able to be exposed again, but unfortunately that won't be for long since I do plan to paint over them. And here we go with the first coat of blue paint. I plan to give it 2 coats of paint and that'll be it. It will then be ready to be put on the handle. This is how it looks after the first coat. Later that day, I put on the second coat. The following day, I proceeded to put on the handle, which is from Hickory. I gave it a stain with a walnut stainer, and it was ready to go. I apologize, but I forgot to record the part where I actually put on the handle and secured it with some metal wedges. Here is the final result. I did put some markings on the bottom of the hammerhead on the Hickory. If the hammer moves, I'll be able to tell and we'll fix it. But it seems to be pretty secure. Time to try it out. Seems to be working just fine. I hope you all enjoyed this resurrection project. Thank you.